we are going to can some dry beans, not dry beans. We're going to take some dry beans and can them today. And we're going to use our pressure canner. I've skipped a few steps. I've already done them, so I'm going to catch you guys up. So step one, you need to take your beans and sort your dry beans. Get any rocks or anything like that that may be in there and pull them out. Then you're going to soak them for 12 to 36 hours. And then we're going to partially cook them. So I cook them for about 25 minutes at a boil, and then we're going to put them into jars in the canner, and then we're going to can pint jars at 75 minutes and quart jars at 90 minutes. You'll need to check your pressure that you need for your elevation. My elevation, I need 10 pounds. So the reason that we soak and partially cook the beans is because of the phytic acid in them. Beans are really high in phytic acid. It's actually an anti-nutrient. You can look that up and figure it out. Boys are jumping Legos in the other room. You can look that up on your own and do a little more research, but I highly suggest you also do that. And when I learned a little bit more, we definitely don't dry can anymore. Absolutely always soak and then partially boil to break that down and make it easier for your body to digest. Now I'm going to take these, I'm going to put them in pint jars. I have a 23 quart Presto canner here. I would love a fancy, bigger canner, but this is what I have, and I can double stack the pints. So I'd prefer to put them in quarts for our family. We go through them more, but I'm mostly out of quart jars, and I have a lot of pints left, so that's what I'm going to use. And then I'll double stack them. And then on my particular range, this is not advice. I went back and forth trying to make sure that this was okay and checked with the manufacturer and different things. I can double stack pints in here and put them on my glass top cooktop, and I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with anything breaking yet. I just make sure that everything else is off the stove and that I just have the canner full of that when I have it on there, and it works fantastic for us. Let's get started. So I have some beans in here. I'm gonna need some more liquid, it looks like, but you can see it down in there. I don't have enough big pots, so I have to cheat. So I have my Instant Pot going, and then I also have this guy going here. And these guys are all done. So let's get them canned up, and then there's nothing in the canner now, but we will put them in here. And then I'll put another one of these racks in there between, and then I'll bring it a second row in there, and we'll put the lid on the canner. My jars are not sanitized. When you are pressure canning, you do not have to sanitize your jars. So the canner is up and ready now. You can't see it, but there's a whole bunch of steam coming out of here, and you can hear it. And then on this back side over here, the button is up. So I set the timer for to let it, whatever your manual says is what you need to do, to let the air leave to get it to pressure. And now my timer is going off, so I'm going to turn that off. And I'm doing this one-handed. Sorry here, guys. I'm going to take this guy and put it on here. You can also use the weighted gauges, but I find that this particular, he likes to get really hot, and it's hard to keep him where he's supposed to be, so I just have better luck with this guy. Anyway, this is going to get up to 10 here, and then I'm going to start my timer. I have pints, so I'm going to do 75 minutes. My timer is going off on my canner. If you can see here, it is just over 10 pounds. Let's turn that off. It's just over 10 pounds. With the electric cooktop, with the glass cooktop in particular, it is really difficult to get that just right to the 10 pounds of pressure. So make sure that it's over whatever your pressure needs to be, not under, and try to keep it, kids with the Legos again. Try to keep it as close as possible to that mark as you can. I'm going to turn my canner off, and then I'm going to move it to the other side of the stove so that it will cool quickly. Once the valve on the back drops, then I can remove my weight here, and I will pull that off, and then I will open it and let it go, and we can see our jars inside. Our canner is now done. The button on the back has popped down, and we are going to remove this guy. My canner's been sitting for a little bit. I've been working on some other projects. This will be really hot when you first remove it if it just kicked off, so be aware of that. I always try to set it on a towel or something, and then twist your canner lid, and then push it, tilt it away from you. So all the steam that came out from there, you want to make sure you tilt that away from you. And then I just flip the lid over and set it down. And then these guys, one sec, I forgot a tool. I can see them from here, they're still bubbling. And if you can see, the bubbles are still in there. Here are my finished jars. Here are my jars that are not yet canned. You can hear them pinging. This water in here is still really hot, so I'm actually going to dump it out and put new water in there because I don't want to give these shock. I have broken some jars. This isn't boiling, but it's really hot. And these aren't piping hot anymore because my beans had been cooked for a little while, so I canned these and I set them up, and I just don't want to break any of the jars. So I'm going to use my 3 quarts of water. I will dump this outside and I'll fill this up again with 3 quarts of water because that's what my canner takes, and then I'll put these guys in and get them cranking. If my jars were hot, I would put them in there hot because then it goes so much quicker. These beautiful jars, I will let them sit, and then I will take the rings off tomorrow. I'll give them 12 to 24 hours and take the ring off. You don't want to leave that on. That way you can see if the seal breaks, you don't have a false seal, and you know if your food is going bad. We shouldn't have any issues with seals, but just so you know. And then I will label these, and I will put them on the shelves, and they'll be nice and cool then. We are done canning our beans. We let them sit. I have them on the counter over here. Let them sit for, oh no, this one didn't seal, 12 to 24 hours. The reason we check these, and it looks like this was stuck to the lid. The reason we check these is because if that wasn't sealed, the last thing we would want to do is put that on the shelf and let it stay there and grow mold. So this guy is going to go in the fridge. These other guys, what I do is I take the ring off, and then I hold it by the lid here. And as long as it's tight, it's good to go. Then I'm going to wipe these with my vinegar spray. I use Thieves. You can use straight vinegar. You can use whatever you want. and get the hard water and residue off of here. And then I'm gonna label them and we're gonna put them on the shelf. And that is how we can beans. I forgot to show you guys something. You want to ping the top of your lids. So all of these ones did. This I'm pretty sure is a, I know what brand it is, but I'm not positive, so I'm not going to say it. Anyway, it's a lid I've had some issues with. And anyway, what I'll do is I'll take this, and technically, I mean, it holds, but it didn't ping. So it's not, oh, there it goes. It's not safe to put on the shelf. So what I will do is, this will go in the fridge and we'll use this right away. And then the way that I label my jars is I use these little labels, and I will link them below. They come like this. There's 500 of them. Originally I used a label per jar, and that was really silly. So I write multiples on here, and then I cut them apart, and then I just stick it on the front of the jar. They wash really easy in water. And so I can just put it on the front of the jar, and then when I put it in the sink, you get it wet, you give it a minute, and you scrub it right off. There's no sticky residue, and it's fantastic. And then the front of my jars are labeled. I know people like to do all things. Some like to label the top of the lids. I don't like to do that. So this is my solution.
Two that aren't writing.